Your eyes have been working for you every single day of your life. From the moment you first opened them as a newborn, they have been capturing light, sending signals to your brain, and letting you experience the world around you. But something quietly begins to happen inside those eyes long before you ever notice any changes. Something that starts decades before your vision begins to blur. And the most surprising part is that it begins before you are even born. Inside your eye, there is a small structure called the lens. This lens sits just behind the pupil, and its entire job is to focus light onto the back of your eye so you can see clearly. Now, here is something that most people never learn about this lens. The proteins that make up your eye lens are formed before you are born. They are created while you are still developing inside the womb, and those exact same proteins stay with you for your entire life. Your body never makes new ones, never replaces the old ones, never refreshes them. What you were born with is what you keep until your very last breath. That sounds remarkable at first, but think about what it actually means. Those proteins are carrying the weight of every single year you live. Every birthday, every decade, every moment of sunlight, every stressful period, every night of poor sleep, every meal that was not quite right for your body, all of that time leaves its mark. And slowly, very slowly, these proteins begin to change, they begin to break down, they begin to clump together in ways they were never supposed to. And when that clumping happens, the lens starts to lose its crystal clear transparency. It starts to become cloudy. This cloudiness does not announce itself dramatically. It sneaks in through small signs that many people dismiss as just getting older. You wake up in the morning and your vision feels foggy, like there is a thin layer of something over your eyes. You drive at night, and the headlights of oncoming cars seem to have strange rings or halos around them that were not there a few years ago. You try to read a menu at a restaurant, and the letters seem softer, less sharp than they used to be. These are not random annoyances. These are signals, and they are telling you something important is happening inside your lens. What makes this even more difficult to understand is the timing. The actual damage inside the lens begins building up 20 to 30 years before you experience any symptoms at all. That means if you are in your 60s or 70s and noticing these changes now, the biological process that caused them may have begun when you were in your 30s or 40s. You were going about your life completely unaware. And the reason this damage was allowed to build for so long has everything to do with something your eye lens is completely missing. Your eye lens has no blood supply. Read that again and let it truly settle in. Almost every other tissue in your entire body is fed by blood. Blood brings oxygen. Blood brings nutrients. Blood carries away waste and damage. Blood is how your body heals itself, but your eye lens gets none of that. It is completely isolated from your circulatory system. The reason for this is actually logical. Blood vessels inside the lens would cast shadows and interfere with your vision, so the lens traded its ability to heal for the ability to see clearly. That is the bargain nature made, and it means that when damage builds up inside your lens, there is no delivery system to bring in repair crews. Instead, your eye lens relies on something else entirely. It depends on a molecule called glutathione. Glutathione is an antioxidant, which means its job is to neutralize the destructive forces inside your cells before they cause harm. In a young, healthy eye, glutathione is present in very high concentrations inside the lens. It moves through the lens tissue, reaching every protein surrounding them, protecting them, keeping them clean and separated and transparent. Because of glutathione, the proteins inside a young lens behave themselves. They stay in their proper positions. They do not clump. The lens stays clear. You can think of glutathione as the maintenance crew working inside a building. As long as the crew is present and active, everything stays clean and functional. The proteins inside your lens are like the windows of that building. When the maintenance crew is doing its job, the windows are spotless. Light passes through easily and clearly, but the moment the crew stops showing up, things start to deteriorate. Dust settles, grime builds up, the windows become harder to see through. That is exactly what happens when glutathione levels begin to decline, and decline they do. Here is where the story takes an important biological turn. As people move through their 50s, something specific happens inside the lens. A kind of barrier begins to form around the central core of the lens. Scientists call this the diffusion barrier, and what it does is block glutathione from reaching the innermost part of the lens. The outer layers of the lens can still receive some protection, but the core is now cut off. It is isolated. The antioxidant that has been protecting your lens proteins for decades can no longer get to the area that needs it most. Without glutathione reaching the core, the proteins in that central region become vulnerable. Oxidative damage, which glutathione was previously neutralizing, begins to accumulate. The proteins start to misfold, they start to aggregate and stick together in disorganized clumps. These clumps scatter light instead of allowing it to pass through cleanly, and over time, the lens becomes progressively cloudier and cloudier. This is how cataracts form. This is how the vision that felt perfectly fine in your 50s begins to shift in your 60s and beyond. Now here's the part that changes everything. While you cannot go back in time and prevent all the damage that has already accumulated, you absolutely can influence what happens from this point forward. Your body still has the ability to support antioxidant activity, reduce ongoing oxidative stress, maintain the health of your retinal cells, and protect the remaining clarity in your lens. And some of the most powerful tools for doing this are not exotic pharmaceutical compounds. They are seeds, ordinary seeds that you can find at any grocery store. But the way you prepare them and combine them matters enormously. There is a seed that many people already have sitting in their kitchen right now that offers solid support for eye health, and that is sesame seeds. Sesame seeds contain zinc, copper, and vitamin E. Zinc plays a particularly important role in the eye because it helps support the enzymes in your retina and assists in transporting vitamin A, which is essential for low-light vision. Copper works alongside zinc in antioxidant enzyme systems. However, sesame seeds also contain something called phytic acid, which binds to minerals and makes them much harder for your body to absorb. The simple fix is to dry roast sesame seeds in a pan for about 3 minutes without any oil. The heat breaks down a significant portion of the phytic acid and unlocks the minerals inside. Pumpkin seeds move things a step further when it comes to macular support. The macula is the small central region of your retina that handles your sharpest vision. Reading the words on a page, recognizing a friend's face across the room, seeing fine detail in a photograph, all of that depends on a healthy macula. Pumpkin seeds contain lutein, zeaxanthin, and zinc. Lutein and zeaxanthin are two carotenoids that physically concentrate inside the macula and act as a natural filter and antioxidant shield. But again, phytic acid is present in pumpkin seeds. The most effective preparation method is to soak them overnight in water with a small squeeze of lemon juice. The lemon creates a mildly acidic environment that helps break down the phytic acid and dramatically improves how much of those nutrients your body actually absorbs. Hemp seeds represent a meaningful shift in the type of support being offered. Rather than focusing primarily on antioxidant compounds, hemp seeds address inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the silent contributors to retinal cell deterioration over time. It does not announce itself with pain or visible swelling. It simply erodes quietly and persistently. Hemp seeds have a naturally balanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, approximately 3 parts omega-6 to 1 part omega-3. This balance is significant because the ratio of these two types of fats in your diet directly influences how much inflammatory signaling your body produces. Hemp seeds also support eye surface comfort and can reduce the dry, irritated feeling that many people over 60 begin to experience as tear production changes. Chia seeds bring something specific to the table when it comes to the structural integrity of your eyes. They are exceptionally rich in alpha-linolenic acid, which is an omega-3 fatty acid that your body can convert into DHA. DHA is one of the most concentrated fatty acids found in the retina. It is literally built into the cell membranes of your photoreceptors, the cells responsible for detecting light and sending visual signals to your brain. Supporting DHA levels through diet helps maintain the structural integrity of those cells. Chia seeds also support the stability of your tear film, the thin liquid layer that coats the surface of your eye with every blink and keeps your vision clear. However, there is one critical mistake that eliminates most of the benefit from chia seeds. Many people eat them whole. Whole chia seeds have a tough outer shell that often passes through your digestive system completely intact. The nutrients inside never get absorbed. You must grind them fresh before eating. A small coffee grinder works perfectly, and always pair them with a fat source to enhance the absorption of the fatty acids they contain. Flax seeds operate at a similar level to chia seeds, but with even higher concentrations of alpha-linolenic acid. Flax seeds may have among the highest ALA content of any commonly available food. That makes them exceptionally valuable for supporting tear production, eye surface hydration, and the fatty acid composition of your retinal cells. But flax seeds come with even stricter preparation requirements than chia seeds. First, they must always be ground fresh. Pre-ground flax that has been sitting in a bag on a shelf has already undergone significant oxidation. Oxidized fats are actually harmful rather than helpful, so freshness matters enormously. Second, after grinding, you should eat them within 15 minutes. After that window, the ground flax begins to oxidize quickly. Third, always eat them with a fat source such as avocado. The healthy fats in avocado dramatically improve the absorption of the fat-soluble compounds in flax seeds, and now we arrive at the seed that sits at the very top of the list for eye lens support specifically, sunflower seeds. Raw, unsalted sunflower seeds contain extraordinary levels of vitamin E. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant, and it has a particular affinity for cell membranes and fatty tissues. The lens fiber cells that make up your eye lens are rich in fats, and vitamin E positions itself directly within these membranes to neutralize free radicals before they can damage the proteins nearby. This makes sunflower seeds uniquely valuable for lens protection compared to seeds that primarily support the retina or the tear film. But sunflower seeds become dramatically more powerful when combined with two other foods. The first is avocado. Vitamin E is fat-soluble, meaning your body can only absorb it properly in the presence of fat. Eating sunflower seeds with avocado ensures that the vitamin E is actually taken up by your body and delivered to the tissues that need it. Without that fat, much of the vitamin E simply passes through without being absorbed. The second addition is lemon juice. Here is why lemon juice is not just a nice flavor addition, but a biological necessity in this combination. When vitamin E neutralizes a free radical, it becomes oxidized in the process. It gets used up. But vitamin C, which lemon juice provides in abundance, has the remarkable ability to regenerate oxidized vitamin E and restore it to its active form. This means the vitamin E from your sunflower seeds can do its protective work not just once but repeatedly. The lemon essentially recharges the vitamin E and multiplies its effectiveness many times over. Putting all of this together into a daily practice is simpler than it might seem. The foundation of your morning should be 1 ounce of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, a quarter of a fresh avocado, and the juice of half a lemon. This core combination delivers your primary lens protection for the day. Eat it in the morning rather than the evening because your body absorbs nutrients more efficiently earlier in the day when your digestive system is most active. On top of that foundation, you add your omega-3 layer each morning. You can choose between 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, which you can sprinkle directly onto food or eat as they are, or 2 tablespoons of freshly ground chia seeds eaten alongside something with fat. Either of these options supports your retinal cell membranes and tear film stability throughout the day. 3 to 4 days per week, you add a deeper nutritional layer by incorporating 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flax seeds eaten with avocado. This adds a concentrated omega-3 boost on those specific days and deepens the support for eye surface health and retinal structure over time. Once a week, you prepare a small handful of pumpkin seeds by soaking them overnight in water with lemon juice, then eating them the following morning. This weekly addition specifically targets your macular health and ensures you are consistently delivering lutein and zeaxanthin to the part of your retina responsible for your sharpest central vision. There are also several mistakes that people make when they try this protocol, and these mistakes can quietly undermine everything. The first one involves coffee and tea. Many people over 60 enjoy a cup of coffee or tea in the morning, which is perfectly fine. But coffee and tea both contain tannins, which are compounds that bind tightly to minerals like zinc in your digestive tract. If you drink coffee or tea immediately after eating your seeds, the tannins grab onto the zinc before your body can absorb it and carry it right out of your system. Wait at least 90 minutes after eating your seeds before having your morning coffee or tea. This single adjustment makes a meaningful difference in how much zinc and other minerals your body actually retains. The second mistake is eating these seeds at night. Nutrition timing genuinely matters for how well your body absorbs and utilizes what you eat. Your digestive system and metabolic processes are significantly more active in the morning and through the midday hours. Eating your seeds in the evening, after your metabolism has begun to slow down in preparation for sleep, reduces the effectiveness of everything in this protocol. Morning is not just a suggestion, it is the time when your body is best equipped to take full advantage of these nutrients. The third mistake, and perhaps the most discouraging one, is stopping too early. People often feel a reduction in eye fatigue or dryness within the first week and assume the work is done. But surface comfort and deep structural support are two very different things. The tear film and surface inflammation respond relatively quickly to better fatty acid intake, but rebuilding antioxidant reserves inside the lens, supporting the long-term integrity of retinal cells, and providing meaningful protection against ongoing protein damage takes time. Significant time. Real structural support requires consistent daily practice for 60 to 90 days minimum before you will notice the deeper changes in your vision. Here is what people who follow this protocol consistently tend to experience and when they experience it. Within the first 3 days, most people notice a reduction in eye fatigue. The heaviness and tiredness behind the eyes, particularly after screen time or reading, begins to ease. This is likely related to the anti-inflammatory effects of the omega-3 fatty acids beginning to accumulate in the tissues. By the end of the first week, many people report less morning blurriness. That foggy quality that greets you when you first wake up begins to clear faster or becomes less pronounced. Between 2 and 3 weeks in, reading clarity often improves noticeably. Text appears sharper. The effort required to focus on close work decreases. This tends to be the point where people feel genuinely motivated to continue because they are experiencing a clear and undeniable shift in their daily vision. Around the 90-day mark is where the most meaningful changes become apparent. Better contrast. Reduced halos around lights at night, a general improvement in visual comfort that extends throughout the entire day. These are the markers of deeper change, the kind that reflects real shifts in the antioxidant environment of the eye and the fatty acid composition of the retinal cells. Your eyes have spent decades doing their job faithfully and silently. They have never asked you for anything, and now you have an opportunity to give something back. Not through complicated medical procedures or expensive supplements, but through a consistent daily practice built from foods that have existed for thousands of years. The proteins in your lens may have been with you since before you drew your first breath. But the environment surrounding those proteins, the level of oxidative stress they face, the antioxidant protection available to them, the quality of the fatty acids supporting your retinal cells, all of that is still within your influence. Every morning that you sit down with your sunflower seeds and avocado and lemon, you are making a choice to protect what you have left to protect. And that choice, made consistently over months and years, can make a profound difference in the clarity and comfort of the vision you carry into the years ahead.